back to the channel, back down at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, just having a bit of a look around. It's quieter today, so I can just have a little slower look around and see what's going on. In other news today, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's announced that he's leaving the club. Bit of mixed emotions about that one. I like Dom a lot, but I also think he limits our style of play. He's a very good striker at what he does, but I also think, like, when you look at how Beto's done and how many goals Beto scored, I don't think Dom would have done the same in the same amount of period. And I do rate Dom higher than Beto, but I think it gives Everton a chance to bring in somebody who's a little bit more dynamic. Obviously we play with Dom and he flicks on and we don't have many people running on, so I think that's a bit limited in how we play, so it gives us a chance to change our style of play. So yeah, unhappy he's going, but not too unhappy. Also this week we had the launch of the new kit, which looks really good. You know, I've not seen it in person yet, but photos look good. Bit of an issue, the fact that you've been able to buy it from Chinese sites for about a month now, I think. I mean, a bit bizarre that they've leaked so much. I've been sent images of the second and third kits already, and they look like they've leaked too. So I think we need to just a little bit have our security a bit better on these leaks. Anyway, let's get the drone up and have a look around. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Right, drone's up. Let's have a little look around. So I'm going to drop down a little bit and just have a look, see if we can see anything in the shop. Get a little bit closer in, because there's no reflections. Well, there's still a little bit of reflection. So there's a few people working on site, so they must be like trying to get it done for the start of the season. I think I need to get a polarizing filter. You can see there's people working in there. See people walking around. So a polarizing filter would stop the reflection of the glass and we'll be able to see in. So I'll try and get one of them in the next week or so for the drone. Let's have a look. Anything happening? Just take it up a little bit. Along with the water tower. Still doesn't seem to be anything changing with this. Maybe it's just going to be one of them. As time goes on, they'll decide what to do with it. I think it'd be a good place, obviously, with the way it looks, for vintage things. Like vintage kits selling there, different to the shop. Or, you know, at St. Luke's Church, they used to have, or they do have, places where they sold old programs and things like that. I think that would be really, really good in there. So look at the scaffolding, let's get a little bit closer up. So still a bit of materials on the top. Obviously they've took quite a bit of it down and moved it across. As we're going to go across here, I'm going to get a bit of a, lower down a little bit and try and get a look in. And let me just have a look down where I'm located. I'm not going to bash into anything. Right, I'm on 2x zoom there, so just have a little lower and just see. A little zoom in. Obviously these are the things they've been painting, these posts here. They look a bit fresh coated, cleaner than the rest. So all this going on here. Still not much we can see there. Let's move back a little bit. Move along. So as we come along, we've got to these posts where they've been either undercoated or pretty much getting ready to be painted black. They were, obviously, as you know, you've seen my videos, white at one point. So they've been stripped off the paint. I think that's down to the metal and they've actually done it right to the end. Now they were black, so whether these are having to be repainted the same, you know, all along, because there was about 2 or 3 that were different than the rest. There's a couple of that were brown, so maybe they got to be all repainted in different paint. And what I was told is the paint with where they've been doing on the supports along here and stuff, it was down to the level of fire resistance with the paint. Apparently it was the wrong one. A little look. Stick up one of the hatches open or not? No. Just the support frames round there. Still no sign of any car park paint and marks going on here, whether they ever do that or not. But you can see here, you know, cars are just parking wherever they want, where obviously need some lines in there just for conformity of where to actually park. A little look over the pitch. In fact, let's have a look and see if they've done any more on this, the Hill Dickinson. Now, one thing I did notice on this as I was flying over them, it looks better from this side, so whether there's been a little bit of work done, because when I was looking at it from this side, from the road, it wasn't very clear the other day, where now it is, so they've obviously done something to that. Zoom out a little bit. So yeah, looking more clearer from this side. And as I say, from inside the stadium, when I was over the pitch, you could see it clear the other day, but not from outside. See if any of these painting have progressed. So it still looks similar sort of area. And as I say, it's along here or underneath here that they are painting. Can't quite see there. Can't take the drone any lower than that. I wouldn't be able to see the drone. Maybe just spin around here, because they are doing this corner again. Like a few weeks back, all this covering was quite high up, lower down, so they're obviously moving forward as they do that. Then we've got along here, a few bits along here. Let's take it up a little bit just so I don't bash into anything. So this is down here, so this is possibly where that scaffolding is, just maybe a little bit further along, is where my season ticket's going to be. So if anyone's there who watches the video, they'll be by me. Apologise in advance. So this scaffolding here, I wonder if that's to start the advertising boards going on this middle section, unless that's changed. There's been a few comments on the last video about that, whether that's still going to actually happen, but so I've not heard any differently. And again, there's another one here, so I wonder if the position them ready to start putting them up. That won't take long to do at all. On the pitch, so a couple of people commenting on here where you can see the sprinkler system that needs touching up, and where the rugby post went, which is directly there. You can still see obviously slight little different bits in the way the grass is, and people commenting just a few little patches around the edge. Just back up a little bit and just have a look, see any more. So there, obviously see another bit where the sprinkler is. Just a couple of little bits, and then let's have a look where the rugby posts are down this end. So there's a sprinkler there. and I think you can just make out there where the rugby posts are going to be, but I think by the time the season starts that'll all be sorted. So let's have a little look across, just take it up a little bit, go and have a look at the Howard Kendall suite and see how that's coming along. Great view of the stadium from this Howard Kendall suite. There's people in the water there, canoes. So yeah, it's just the first couple of sections that are put in. There's obviously going to be a few more here on the side and a few more going forward, I think. So that's going to be nice. I mean, when you look, if I spin the camera around here, where that is, great view of the stadium. Looks fantastic. I mean, that's until, you know, maybe Everton are looking at buying Nelson Dock, which is this patch of water here, till they build something on there. Let's have a little look at Everton Way. They were cleaning this up the other day. They were putting I don't know what it's called, like grouting of tiles, but doing that with the actual Everton Way. And they had just a little bit of the grey outline to do on the Prince Rupert Tower, and some of the Everton timeline was still to be done. That's when I was last here a few days ago. So it looks like the outline's gone in for the Prince Rupert Tower. And there's just a little bit of the Everton timeline to go there. Just a little bit. So virtually there with that. Let's zoom back a little bit. We'll head over where the marquee was. So the other day I was talking about the marquee and saying it was health and safety, had stopped it coming down, and I think it was Dunk the Blue who mentioned it on the comments, and I also read it in the Echo. They actually started building this before planning permission had actually been permitted, so don't know whether that will actually happen before the season starts, where there's a bit of a dispute and there's been a bit of a change in the company that was doing it. So, you know, this is still a fair way off. You obviously got things stored underneath the little tiny marquee there. So yeah, it's a little way off. Still some materials on the ground here. Obviously for the shops, and there's venting tubes there and a few other little bits. But other than that, I think we're done for the day. As always, thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.